Mama, take these chords from me. I can't drink them anymore. Where's the sink? I gotta pee. Looks like John's checking into Betty Ford. Hey, Johnny. Checking into Betty Ford. Honey, checking into Betty Ford. Checking into Betty Ford. Hey, Johnny, checking into Betty Ford. Stuttering John. Alrighty, shalom and welcome everybody. We got El Diablo here.
Hello.
From Bedazzle.
Bedazzler. El Diablo from Bedazzler. How are you, Rabbi?
I'm doing good. How you been?
Oh, wonderful. I was telling you earlier, I think I've had literally internet problems ever since I started live streaming, and I finally got fed up, and I went to Xfinity, and I said, give me a new goddamn modem. Sorry, I don't mean to use those words in front of you. I'm going to try and be very clean.
You know, I always tell my guests on here to be themselves. Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm not a stickler like that.
Well,
you don't have so you don't have to worry about that. Now, it is so great to have you on because there are so many people that I absolutely enjoy and say that is the top tier of the Dabbleverse. You know, and you being one of them, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you here, brother.
Well, thank you. That's very kind words. I'm just a regular guy who saw a bunch of people having fun and wanted to join in on that fun. But
yeah,
I
want to get into that. This whole thing that it is that you have going on with the character, Nacho Libre or.
El Horrible.
Yes, that, yeah. Is that not what I said?
No.
Okay.
You said Nacho Libre.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You know, with that, is that something that kind of comes from your past, or is it something that it's like, you know what, this might be a good thing for this particular, show?
No, El Horrible was conceived on March 16th, 2015. I remember it because it's Steve Austin Day, 316. I was a open micer, and I had recently moved to where I live now. And open mics, being an open mic comic, is good for getting out and meeting people because there's always open mics. So that's how I would get out and just kind of meet people or just kill the time. And I have an awesome job, and I like offensive comedy. So I came up with the idea of wearing a mask because the other thing is that a lot of places where I am, the open mics are, back then, I don't even think they're around anymore, but they had these cannabis clubs. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of like Amsterdam, where you can go to a club and there was a loophole where if the club claimed that you were a member, that no one could do anything because you're a member for this special club. And you can bring your own cannabis. They could sell it to you, but they weren't actually selling. There was always a loophole. It was like you couldn't ask for the cannabis. You had to ask for them to roll you something. So they were providing the service of rolling something. Ridiculous. Gotcha. But because of my awesome job, I couldn't at the time do that kind of stuff. So that was the other reason for the mask. And people seemed to like it. But then once the whole cancel culture thing started getting really, full swing, once Donald Trump got into office, it was like no one's even fun anymore. Comedy, doing comedy out in clubs was not a fun time.
No, absolutely not. I mean, and some of my heroes, I'm not a comedian. I'm not funny in any way, shape, or form. But, the thing is that, I would always look up to, or I would listen to like Sam Kinison.
Sure.
Sam Kinison would not be around anymore today.
Yeah.
And the old Dennis Miller, he's kind of the smart man's comic.
Right.
I always enjoyed Dennis. I used to call into his radio show all the time. But yeah, the cancel culture has really gotten pretty bad. And I'm so amazed that people like Steel Toe, who is actually kind of bringing that old style of shock jockery back, that they haven't been booted from YouTube yet. They might be joining me on Rumble.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think they're doing shock jockery so much as they're doing like good, interesting radio. Like there's just none of like, and they're doing it online. Like I don't even know what local radio shows are like anymore.
Mm.
I don't listen to any terrestrial radio. I got rid of Sirius. I listen to Steel Toe in the morning after Opie, of course. Opie is my alarm clock every morning, and sometimes it's like 4 a.m. here, but
Oh goodness.
Opie does it for us, so I feel
Well,
like I have to be there for him.
you got a lot of crap the other day for that, didn't you?
What's that?
Oh, Kevin was giving you a hard time
Oh yeah,
over.
Kevin doesn't like Opie. Um, but back real quick to El Horrible. Once the whole cancel culture thing was in full swing, I kind of weighed, hey, what's more valuable, my awesome job or telling jokes for 5 minutes for free, to the same people every week. So El Horrible kind of left. He stopped doing his thing, and it's kind of like Godzilla, just sleeping in the waters until Carl. I found Who Are These Podcasts about a little over a year ago, and I always wanted to be in radio, and Carl is doing exactly what I would have wanted to do. He took the Sam Roberts Jocktober thing, which
Mhm.
that was awesome. I love that I looked forward to that every year, and he took it and ran with it. It was a really smart move by Carl.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Carl seems to be doing many things right over there. He's got an amazing show, and many of us are kind of kind of owe it to him to where we are. And the question that Jimmy has over here in the chat is actually one of the questions I have, because I
Yes.
remember the first time I saw your videos, I was like, okay, this guy has to be a professional in this stuff. Is this something that you have a history with? Is this something that you've done in the past, and or did you just immediately kind of become awesome at this?
Oh no, absolutely not. Yes, I have been in video production for about 20 years now. I have a lot of my own equipment. I have a giant shed on my property where I can do green screen stuff. I have a Sony FS7, which is a pretty awesome camera, and that's what I do my green screen stuff with. But I originally I wanted to start in radio. I've always been doing video production. I was in ska punk bands back in the late 90s,
Oh
early
wow.
2000s. And I would do, music video stuff for people and just, various projects. And I actually my dad at some point when I was like, I don't know, 18, I guess, he said, you got to figure something out because you're not going to go to college. And I was like, yeah, I'm not. So I actually went to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting,
Oh wow.
which is just a 6-month program where you pay $10,000 for 6 months and they get you an internship, because radio used to be any idiot off the street could come in and intern. And then all of a sudden you need to go to college to get coffee and screen phone calls.
Uh,
So I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting. As soon as my check cashed, I was pretty much graduated. And I actually interned at 92.3 Free FM,
oh
which
wow.
was right after Howard left. And I was interning for one of the talk shows on there.
Was it the one that replaced him? Was it? Did you intern for David Lee Roth?
No, I did not. I actually interned for a show called The Radio Chick.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Leslie Gold. She used to do some Fox Radio stuff a
Yeah.
couple of years ago. Yeah, she's a very, very nice woman, as well as her producer, Paul Butchie Brennan. They were like mentors to me. So and they literally they offered me a job from my internship, and it was like, oh, awesome, like I'm going to get, I'm going to work in radio. And then Don Imus had his fiasco with the
Yeah.
Rutgers women's team, and everyone got fired.
Oh goodness. I
So
didn't I didn't know they were kind of a package deal there.
well,
Wow.
Don Imus was part of CBS Radio, and at the time, Free FM was CBS Radio, and I guess they had also just fired a team that was at Free FM called JV and Elvis,
Hmm.
because they had made a Asian prank phone call right after the
Oh
Howard
goodness.
or the Don Imus thing, and just went up in arms, even though one of them was married to an Asian woman. Like, it's just
Yeah.
ridiculous. So that I think CBS was just kind of like, why are we risking all this money with these personalities when we can just go to a Jack FM type thing or just play music, off an iPod kind of deal. So they went back to music after that, and my dreams were crushed. So I went into video because I realized radio. I actually did a small stint at Sirius.
Really?
Yeah, basically just interning. I quit into it. I was interning at the Raw Dog thing,
Hmm.
and all I was basically doing was like loading horrible comedy CDs into the Delette.
Oh,
And it
gotcha.
was horrible. No one really wanted to hear my ideas or anything. So I was like, fuck this. I actually started doing my own live radio show in 2006 on the internet with a couple of friends that was actually doing really well. But I was doing all the work, and it just kind of became too much.
Yeah, that's kind of how it ends up being, especially when you're doing, I did a show a long time ago about 3 days a week, and it was me and I had a really good co-host,
Right.
that I could joke around with, and I'll tell you, I learned really quickly, it is hard to find a good co-host
Oh, yeah.
and all that stuff. And you and I have a little bit of a tie here because I filled in at Sirius XM, which used to be Sirius XM Right, which later became Sirius XM Patriot for Andrew Wilkow, and
Gotcha.
I ended up getting fired for using the term vile sodomite.
Are you serious?
Yes, it was during the whole Perez Hilton Carrie Prejean thing.
Sure.
And, so I kept referring to him as a vile sodomite.
That's funny. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
They,
did you have your own studio that you would just broadcast from your house or something?
no, with there, it was so different at that time because you actually had to go to one of their physical locations.
Okay.
And they didn't just have locations in New York. They had one in Charlotte, North Carolina, where some of their houses or some of their hosts were stationed there.
Okay.
And like the funny thing is that right next to me was this studio for OutQ.
Oh, sure.
So it's like the one, I go and I make that joke, and you don't want to make that joke in the office.
Sure. Yeah. I used to see, what was the guy on AlQ? Frank something. He used to
Oh,
have, his desk was right near the Raw Dog people.
oh
Frank
goodness.
Caliendo. No, that Frank Caliendo is the impression guy. But I don't know. He had like a morning show. Have you ever been to the New York Sirius building?
No,
Okay.
never had been.
It's pretty cool. I'm assuming it's way different now because I haven't been there in years. But the one awesome, or not awesome, but very interesting experience I had was that I did see the move of Howard Stern from his wing of the building to, I guess, the elevator that takes him to the car. And they cleared those hallways.
Oh, I bet.
It was ridiculous. And he's a giant of a man walking with a tiny little security guard. And you saw people like wanting to go up to him and talk to him. And like they literally had to say, not now, like go away. It was very bizarre.
It's almost like if the president were walking in there or
Yes,
something,
it had that vibe. And it was just very, very strange. But I get it. He's very
Oh, yeah.
valuable to them.
Do you think Sirius XM is going to be around for very much longer, considering how it is that internet radio is nowadays and
I,
live streaming video and all that stuff?
I can't even imagine how newspapers and terrestrial radio
Oh,
is
yeah.
still around. Like I really can't. I can't imagine. Like I think what was it? Elon Musk yesterday or something twittered that newspapers basically just print what they read on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, why are newspapers still around?
Yeah.
But as far as Sirius, I think once Howard is gone, they are going to be in a lot of trouble. I don't know how many people still listen to Howard. I was a huge Howard Stern fan. He's the guy who got me into all this.
Yeah.
I was introduced in the late '80s by my dad. We had Butt Bongo Fiesta. We had the New Year's. We had the cable box to steal the pay-per-views. Like, man, that was an awesome time. And I
Didn't
don't know
weren't
how.
those things called the scramblers?
Yeah, Scrambler
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, yeah, and I remember hearing about those all the time as a kid,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. But now, if you look up a descrambler, you cannot find any information that these things ever existed.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because I remember the day my dad came home in the late '80s. He was like, I just got this box from some guy in the city. It's supposed to get us all the channels. We're gonna get HBO. We're gonna get pay-per-view. Which I was like, whoa, we're gonna get all the wrestling. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I was that house. Like, everyone came to my house for wrestling. And yeah, it was great. And then I remember, like, in high school around like 2000, I remember ordering one on eBay because I was like, I want one for
Really?
my room. Yeah, totally. And it worked. And it was so easy. And that's when things were great.
Now 2000, that was the time where, the old big satellite dishes that you had to go out and manually adjust. They were no longer around. You had the
Mm-mm.
Direct TV, and was it Dish Network?
Sure.
I think both of those are still around. Did it work with those?
Well, I never had satellite.
Oh,
We
okay.
always had cable.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah, so I never had any kind of dish on my house growing up. The weird thing, it made me think. Satellite made me think of. We used to have a neighbor who was like a CB radio hobbyist, and it would interfere with the air television all the time. So, like, I remember specifically because it's that time of year, my sister and I were watching the California Raisins Christmas,
Mhm.
and I remember my parents taped it, and you would just like hear the California Raisins, and all of a sudden you hear, and it was from his CB, but you couldn't understand the words, so it used to scare the shit of us, scare the shit out of us as kids. Again, I'm sorry for the language.
Oh no, it's fine. Like I
But
said,
yes,
be yourself.
you talking about the satellites made me think of that, and I haven't thought of that in years. And this is kind of like CB radio, right?
It is in many
Is it weird?
ways,
Yeah.
but hopefully better quality than the CB radio
Oh,
and
yes.
all that stuff. Now we have somebody in the chat that just does it. They kind of insulted you. They think you're T.J. Miller. Were you
Yes,
were you on the TV show Silicon Valley?
I was not. Yes, many people do believe I'm TJ Miller. I have said in the beginning of my show, I'm your host, TJ Miller, a couple of times. I don't know why people think I'm TJ Miller, except for I think people kind of know what part of the country I'm living in.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
maybe that's why they think I'm TJ Miller. But yeah, no, I am not TJ Miller or Tom Chiasano.
Oh goodness! Did you ever see that show Silicon Valley?
Not really. I had seen a couple of episodes, but I never really got into it.
It was pretty funny, especially when him and the Asian guy that refused to leave his house were constantly fighting. It was just absolutely hilarious because
Yeah.
it's like where the heck that come from, But
Yeah, no, I never got into that show.
yeah, I'll tell you, and the TV that's out now is not as good as the old stuff, if you ask me. You get a couple.
I don't even know what's around anymore.
There you
Are you
go.
hearing that yappy dog sound in the background?
What kind of dog you got there?
Well, that's a mechanical dog my little sister. Yeah, my little 3-year-old sister is playing with. And
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know why her mother is not telling her to stop, but
It's all good. It's
I'm
all
sorry,
good.
everyone.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm a Roddy guy, so
Gotcha.
yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to DabbleCon?
I am not. I am not actually. I'm kind of, in the Cardiff camp to
Okay.
where, it is that I want to go to StojoCon. But the thing
Oh,
is,
so you'll be across the parking lot.
possibly if it happens over there. But the thing is, El Horrible, I gotta be honest with you. I take like one vacation every 20 years.
Yeah,
So
I understand. It was very difficult to explain to El Horrible's mom why he was going to go to Rochester in February. Hold on one second. I need to stop this dog noise. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. El Horrible will be back. And so let's go and look at what you guys have in the chat. You can still
Okay.
pirate
So it actually
Salad
wasn't
Radio
my little
easily.
sister. Oh, sorry. It wasn't my little sister. It was actually my dog, I guess, laid on it and it started playing. So, all right.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
that's done. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. So, what got you into the whole Stuttering John thing? Because, it just seems, that so many people from different backgrounds and different personalities have all gotten, into the Dabbleverse, if you will.
Oh, sure. Like I said, I mean, I was a Howard Stern, like from the late 80s. And like, that doesn't make me very old. I was probably like 6. And
Yeah.
like my dad probably wasn't the most responsible parent as far as that goes. But I always loved that kind of radio, the talk radio, and just like trying to envision what the people looked like, what the setting was like, and always being wrong. And then I went off to Opie and Anthony and Ron and Fez, and just it built. And I've listened back to all the archives. I've literally listened to every Stern, every Opie and Anthony, every Ron and Fez for years, and I'm like, why am I still listening to this stuff? Why am I going back and listening to the East Side Dave Midnight Rider, 40-hour saga? Why have I heard that like 40 times?
Oh, wow.
Like literally, like I just on long car trips, I'll go to that. I'll go to anything. And I've just always been in that world. And I always felt like I was kind of wasting my time. But now I feel like that we found all these other people who kind of enjoy all that same kind of stuff. It's actually been helping me. And once I saw Carl goofing on John, and I saw what John is doing, and I saw the hypocrisy, like, you're not going to fool us, John. Like, we have been listening to you for years on the Howard Stern show. We know your personality. We know who you are. Don't just try and do a 180 now. Like, it's just insulting, So yeah, and like I said, I just saw everyone else having fun, and I wanted to jump on.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that I interviewed somebody that you guys don't really like too much, Chad Zumach, the other day. And one of the things that he always was talking about on that interview was copycats and
Right.
all that stuff, And one of the things that I noticed is that yeah, there are a couple of copycats out there, but the thing is that with like you and many others, they have their own thing. The thing that you do with the short form, with the amazing, video quality, it's like you have a thing that is your staple. There is no other El Horrible. Just like there is not another Shully. He does things a certain way. Carl does things a certain way. And Cardiff and all these other things. And I think it's so cool that there's so many different personalities coming
Yeah.
into this.
It is really cool. And I've always been someone who wanted to be original. So I feel like I jumped into this really like not knowing. All I did really was listen to Carl and
Mhm.
Who Are These Podcasts originally. I was unaware of Ski Mask. I knew about Cardiff just because of Who Are These Podcasts.
I've never heard of Ski Mask, actually. Is that somebody that I should have heard of?
I don't see. I still haven't really listened to Ski Mask's show, but Ski Mask seems to be going specifically after Chad.
Gotcha.
I've never really touched Chad. I've done a couple of things about,
Yeah.
Hey, Chad stole some credit cards, and hey, Chad went to jail.
Yeah.
But like overall, I don't think Chad is even like famous enough. Like, not that they have to be famous. Like, I'm going to talk about that guy Ken Otto on Sunday because he did a 6-hour show, and I know you were
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about him at some time.
Oh, yeah. I saw his show. Oh,
He's-
my gosh.
He's fascinating,
It's
and
like,
he's not famous, but he's fascinating.
no, he's like Stuttering John, but monotone.
Yeah,
And my God, just so boring.
yeah. So I don't know, and also because of Chad's background, I never even wanted to really give Chad any kind of exposure because I don't know. It's just like he's done some pretty scumbaggy things, especially, and
Of
now
course.
like what he's done like to April from Steel Toe and stuff like that. It's just like I think the best thing to do is kind of avoid Chad. So I don't really focus on Chad much. I find it interesting. I'm a big Kevin Brennan fan. I love it's just that kind of like raw, honest, like I don't give a shit what I'm saying comedy. And that's always what I liked. And yeah, so
Absolutely. And the thing is, anybody that I have on the show, except for you, I can't say there's anything that I disagree with you on. I don't agree with everybody on everything. The thing that he
sure.
did, with April, that was over the line. The thing that he did with the credit cards, that was scummy. The thing he did at the liquor store was scummy. But it's one of those things that it's like, I want to build bridges,
Sure.
and say, hey, dude, there's a different way. And that's why one of the first questions I asked him is like, what needs to be done for this whole thing to end? You
Right.
know, and I think that's the way it should be. Jimmy has a great question there for you. Jimmy Jimmy needs to be doing this interview. He's good at this. He says, "How long does it take to produce a Bedabbler video, and do you script them?"
Uh no, I don't script them. And it takes about 8 hours once I have an idea. The hardest part is coming up kind of with an idea and like a main, I guess, focus. And then as I go through the clips and start watching, I don't know, things just start popping into place. It's very odd how these videos have worked. Um, I haven't done one in quite some time because I had to travel for my real job. And like I said, I'm actually really trying to get more watch time hours because I'm only at like 19,000 hours and I have to get to 4,000 before I can start monetizing. And my recorded videos are so short, they don't really help me out with that. It's more like things like this that help me out with that. So I will come up with a main kind of thing. I'll go, okay, I'm going to do the DNN kind of angle this time because there's a lot going on. Like, so like maybe in a video, I don't know if you saw, but John, there was a photo of John with his daughter in New York.
Oh,
So I guess,
really?
yeah, so I guess John is in New York for the holidays. I also saw that his house is no longer up for sale, the condo.
Oh,
There was also that broke yesterday. It's off the market. It has not sold. And so like I could find things like that and do the DNN thing, and then I'll go, okay, what did Opie do today? And Opie's a gold mine now. And so when I record my Bedabbler shows, I don't know if you can even see like my chin or mouth moving now,
no,
but
not really.
right, exactly. So basically I just record myself
Gotcha. And then you overdub it.
and then I overdub it later as I'm editing, and that way I can change anything. Like I don't, I'll go, oh, this isn't working or this isn't funny. Let me try this line, and I'll just go back and record something else. I do everything right here, all my post production right here from my little corner of my mom's basement. And yeah, I would say it takes about like an average 8-hour working day from idea to loading it up. That's why sometimes I load them up at like 3 a.m. because I don't get an idea until like 9 o'clock at night.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. See, for me with stuff like that, it'd be the timing,
Yes.
of going and doing something afterward, making sure that when you throw up the papers and all that stuff, that's at the right time
Yes. Well,
and all
that's
that.
it. Yes. And it is a lot of editing, but also some of the funny parts that people have pointed out is a lot of times the voiceover doesn't exactly go with my movements and they can tell that's how I do it. So it kind of adds to some of the comedy.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of which, people are saying in the chat, basically, and I'm going to translate this one here. Who's that unfunny bastard? Why isn't Kevin here? I'm sorry, man.
Oh, they're talking about you? I thought they were talking about me.
No, no, they're talking about me because you've been doing those live streams with Kevin there, and Kevin is
Yes.
another guy who knows his technical aspects of video production front and back. I mean, he's done some amazing stuff with those live streams that you guys have done.
Yeah, Kevin's a good dude.
Yeah,
I know that there are some people who don't like Kevin, and I know, just like there are some people who aren't big fans of you.
yeah.
But you guys have always been awesome guys to me, and I like you guys. And Kevin offered his services to produce the show. I said sure, and I told him he can be an on-air kind of producer. And then we have a kind of an off-air producer, Obnoxious John.
Yeah, you guys got a whole production. Oh, you got Obnoxious John working for you. He's a great dude.
He is a very great dude. OJ, we call him OJ Samson.
That's why. Okay,
He's
okay.
OJ. Yeah, Obnoxious John. And he does like the sound effects and like if something comes up, I'll just be like, "Hey John, OJ, look that up." And then he'll pop on. Kind of like, I don't know if you ever listened to Stern, but
Mm,
Gary used to have a button in his office where he could just kind of pop on and he'd be
yeah.
like this voice. So I like that aspect. And they're good. And Kevin's a good punching bag. He doesn't mind being the punching bag, and he fucks up a lot, and it just adds to. I always enjoyed on the Howard Stern show when Scott the engineer would fuck something up. Like, I don't care about guests. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? Like, I care about guests in the Dabbleverse because those people interest me. Like,
yeah.
you interest me, Cardiff interests me, Kevin, all these people interest me. But like, if someone was like, do you want Robert De Niro on your show? I'd be like, what the fuck am I going to talk to Robert De Niro about? I'll say yes to get the views, but like, in all honesty, I'd rather talk to Cardiff Electric a
Yeah.
million times more than any A-list celebrity.
Oh, absolutely. And same here. And I think that we got I got Cardiff coming on this show soon. He's a tough guy to tie down. He's like, "Oh yeah, I want to do it." And I'm like,
He's very
"When?"
busy.
And then it's like crickets. But he's been making the rounds here recently.
Yes, Cardiff is A-list. Cardiff is the elite of the elite.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's very sought after, and he's also very good at pushing people's buttons and stuff.
Oh, he is.
He knows
He
how to
is.
play all the radio bits, how to do all the gimmicks, making all the fun. I think have you ever heard of Chinese confusion?
No, I can't say I have.
Okay,
Enlighten me.
Okay, so Chinese confusion is a bit that Sal and Richard used to do on Howard Stern, where they would call a Chinese restaurant and they would say, "Hello, I'd like to place an order." And the Chinese, the person on the other end would go, "Okay, no problem. What would you like?" And they go, "Hold on one second. Let me get my uncle. He's got the order." And what they would do is call another Chinese restaurant and they would say, "Hey, I want to place an order." And they would have these two Chinese guys. I'm kind of mixing it up because I don't know how they got them to read the orders to each other. Or no, I know what they would do. They would order from the first place, and then they would say, "Hold on one second. I want to get my uncle on. Can you repeat the order to him?" Okay, so then they would call a different Chinese restaurant, and they would go, "Okay, here's my uncle." And then the first guy would go, "Okay, beef and broccoli." And so that now the other guy, I think someone was trying to do that on our show last night, but Kevin was so drunk that he just like kind of messed it up. But I know Cardiff sent his army after us last
Oh
night,
no.
and it was awesome, except for the guy who said the N-word like for straight
Oh
for
no.
5 seconds. But that's not, I'm all for free speech, but that's
Yeah.
just not, it's not helping anyone. I
y-
didn't cut it out, but I don't know. Is YouTube going to ban me for that?
That's a tricky one. I don't know. See, YouTube always gets me for like right now, they are going to copyright strike this video because I played my own parody song.
What? Are you serious?
They have copywritten me for my own music time and time again because, and I don't understand why they did it for that one. I sound nothing like Axel, sound nothing like Slash, but like some of my other ones are on all the streaming services, some of my guitar things. And
Yeah.
I guess they're like, okay, well, this guy's using this guy's song yeah, but that's me.
Right.
And
Oh man, that's horrible.
yeah, so it's just the ways of YouTube, and that's why I really like Rumble.
Yeah, I have to learn more about Rumble. Like I'm obviously I only got into the live streaming aspect of all this about an hour not an hour ago, feels like an hour ago. About a month ago. And I know there's Rumble. I've heard
Mhm.
people say Twitch is kind of like worse than YouTube as far as their like rules.
Are they?
That's what I've heard based on other shows that I listen to, but
See, I go to Twitch every now and then, but I've never looked at my Twitch page. I don't know what's on there
right.
or anything. It's just like an afterthought to me.
So do you get a lot of live like do you get a lot of live viewers on Rumble, or is it more like after?
Oh, it's definitely live. For instance, one of the things I do, because I also do some political stuff over there on Rumble.
Sure.
And so, when there's a breaking story, what I'll do is I will pull up my Hulu Live TV, and I will go to all the news stations and I will give commentary as to what they're saying on this station, that station,
Oh,
and
okay.
give them my own 2 cents. Whenever I do that, now, granted, I only have 200 subscribers on there,
Oh, wow.
but I will hit about 300 live views at one time on there. And it's because it's an equal playing field for everybody over there. There's no algorithm.
Interesting.
Basically, when you hit, there's a little button on the app that says live. The person that's the most recent live is all the way at the top, so
Gotcha.
it's a level playing field for everybody. And I make more money over there. I don't make anything from YouTube, but with
That's what I've
200
heard.
subscribers, I made $26 this month, which isn't a lot, but I
No,
mean, heck.
it's a start. Like I've done all this stuff for YouTube and I've made nothing for YouTube. Like
Yeah.
if it wasn't for people just tipping on external or third party app kind of things, I wouldn't be getting anything for anything I've done so far. But I heard you talk about Rumble and that you made a couple of bucks on there, and that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, and one of the things, in terms of production and all that stuff, I also got to give a hat tip to your on-air producer, because he's actually the one that encouraged me to start looking at OBS.
Yes.
And when he told me that, I was like, okay, my 2019 MacBook Pro is not going to be able to handle OBS because does use a lot of RAM.
Right.
So I decided I was going to get a brand new M2 Mac. And I'm telling you, I am so glad that he made that suggestion to use OBS through StreamYard.
Oh yeah, how do you like that new Mac?
I like it, except for one thing. I am used to having 4 USB-Cs. And,
Okay.
and then going from 4 to 2 has
Right.
made it really hard. I got to go and get another dongle for more USB-C stuff and all that stuff, here
Yeah,
soon.
well, going back to actually how my videos are made, I do them all on a Mac Pro from 2010 that hasn't been
Really?
updated since 2010. Yeah. So
That's the key, not updating it.
yes, all my production is done on CS6, like the
Ooh.
Adobe CS. Yeah. I'm in that. I don't even know if I've really used any of the newer Adobe stuff. But yeah, I'm back in the year 2010. But
You know what? I wish I could roll back Adobe Audition
yeah.
from about around that time, and the reason being is because now you can't own the program.
Yeah, I know.
They charge you a monthly fee.
Yep, that's why I won't do anything to this computer. It's worked perfectly. It still works perfectly. The only thing is I can't do live streaming from it because I have what I don't even know what Mac OS X there is now, but mine is 10.9.5.
Yeah, I think mine's 16, I think that's the
Exactly.
newest one.
They
Yeah.
don't make any software for my computer anymore. So like I can't do any of this. So I had to go out and I actually went away from Mac. I've always been a Mac guy. And I actually got a Samsung Galaxy that was just like kind of souped up and stuff. And I love it actually. It's been awesome. But I don't do anything besides my live streams. That's why it's been so frustrating that my internet has been so bad. But I don't know, man. So far so good. It seems like getting that new router really was the key.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, I had a MacBook Air that I used for years. I think it was like 9 years old. And
Sure.
it still, worked out pretty good. Brother Ted has a question for you. Are the people going to see your actual face at DabbleCon?
No. In fact, I am doing my hardest not to even let Kevin see my face. I've actually met Kevin in real life because we
Oh,
live
really?
in the same area, and he has not seen my face.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I have a lot of different plans so that I will be walking around DabbleCon without my mask on, but no one will know.
Oh,
Hopefully.
you're gonna have to disguise your voice, possibly.
Yes, exactly. I have a bunch of little things planned, but I also I've had people ask me if I'm involved with DabbleCon. I am not. I'm going there as a fan, just like all of you.
Yeah, speaking of which, we saw the whole thing of raising money to get you to DabbleCon,
Yes,
and it is so cool. Was it Dr. Steve
yes,
that really? Yeah, tell everybody that story, because this is just the coolest thing, I think.
yeah. No, Cardiff. Actually, he did a whole episode dedicated to me, and he was promoting my thing, and that got Dr. Steve's attention, and Dr. Steve donated $50, which is incredible to me. Cause again, like this is a guy I've been listening to for years. The fact that he would be sending me $50 to go to Rochester is just insane to me. So I thanked him. I said, hey, I'll see you in Rochester in February. Maybe we can check each other for hernias. And I guess that made him laugh because he was like, hey, that made me laugh. Here's another $50. So Dr. Steve has contributed 10% of my $1,000 goal. I think I'm like more than 50% or maybe around 50% of my goal. I've already used the money I had to buy my, I'll be at all the VIP things, and I bought my plane ticket, and the next thing is hotel. Hotels are
Oh
that's
yeah.
pretty crazy expense, but everyone's been awesome. Like everyone who's donated, and everyone who does donate will get a free 8x10 personalized headshot of El Horrible.
Oh,
Just
that
come up
is
to
cool.
me and tell me you donated, and then I'll just have to check and confirm, and yeah, I'll probably sell some too. I don't know. Might as well be a grifter like John while the grifting's good.
Oh, well, I think you're going to make that goal. And as a matter of fact, I've been looking for that link because I want to donate myself on payday.
Oh, I
Um,
appreciate it, man.
and so, make sure to, on your YouTube, in the community thing, go and get that out there so that I'm able to find it tomorrow
Oh
and
yeah,
all that good
sure.
stuff.
It's co-fee. I guess it's like coffee, ko-fi.com/bedabbler. And
Okay, you
that's pretty much
realize
it.
I'm in my 40s, right?
Okay.
I have already forgotten that.
Okay.
I
I'll send it to you. I'll
Yeah,
no,
you
I'll
better.
like you said, I'll put it in my YouTube thing. I just I make a good living. This is all for fun. So it's
Yeah,
weird for me to kind of be like, hey, donate to me.
yeah.
Um, but at the same time, like, it's nice to not have to spend your personal money to go do stuff when you're trying to entertain people and, be creative and stuff. And everyone's just been awesome. And yeah, like thank you for donating, but don't ever feel obligated to donate ever. I'm not doing this to eat like like when John's supporters would be like, "Oh my God, he took my $5. I could have used that to eat."
Yeah.
Like I am not in
Oh,
that position, so please don't donate if you are.
gosh, that is just
Disgusting.
oh my
It was
gosh. Yeah, that's something else, and I'm sure you probably saw what it is that my source said about him possibly not coming back in January.
Yes, we played your clips on the
Oh,
show
did
last
you?
night. I don't know if you saw because all right, I have to tell you, like you said, you might not be the funniest guy,
No,
but
definitely not.
you are a great broadcaster, and the way you present things. No, no, seriously, I enjoy you. I enjoy broadcasting. Obviously,
El
I don't
Horrible is the drunk of the week.
drunk of the week. My little thing fell off. I no, really, I don't watch TV. Like I said, I only get internet. El Horrible's mom uses YouTube TV and watches all that shit. But I just listen to YouTube, old shows and all that kind of stuff, or new ones that pop up. Like I said, I listen to Steel Toe in the morning because I think he's a great broadcaster. And the way that you present things is very interesting at times. So yeah, we played your clips, and yeah, your source is claiming that John will not be back in January.
Yeah, but see, I also just thought about something the other day that made me think that he might be coming back in January. And here's the reason why I say that. Apparently, Richard Ojeda has taken down all of his videos.
Hmm.
Now, the reason why that's tied to John is because you remember the supposed Melinda's Media Network?
MMN, yeah.
Why would he do that now as opposed to a couple months down the line?
I don't know.
It
I don't
makes me
believe that that's happening. You really believe John's going? John has no money.
I'm kind of back and forth on it because, first of all, running a network is hard work. It's
Yeah.
technical know how he doesn't have.
No.
But also at the same time, I'm thinking that there might be people that'll say, hey, I'll set this up for you. Because when I was in the Hebrew Roots Bowel movement, for instance,
The
um,
what?
Yeah. Well, it's the Hebrew roots movement, but I refer to it as a bowel movement.
Okay,
Now that I converted and got ordained and all that stuff,
sure,
it's one of those things that I refer to where I used to come from as a bowel movement because those
gotcha.
people are nuts. But they would have people out the wazoo making WordPress member sites for them. They'd be like, I'll go make you a WordPress member site and, we'll do it for free and all that stuff. Just give me a lifetime subscription to your stuff and all that stuff. And every single one of those guys were scooping that up big time. And I'm thinking that it might be possible that John might be doing something similar. But if he were, why not just stay with Patreon?
Yeah, I don't know. I just have to believe that John. I mean, it was really a brilliant move, which makes me, really confident that it wasn't John's idea. But his idea to leave and not create any more content, it really was a good idea because I know that there is so much of that archive and stuff like that, but people want new stuff,
Yeah.
like we've seen a lot of the stuff, and like even me, like I've had to go on to other people like Opie. Like originally, like I was just like, yeah, let's just do John and stuff. But then, I guess they're calling them lol cows now. There's an actual term for it, but there's so many people out there. But John is the legend. John is the Babe Ruth of them all. So if he's not putting out anything new, you know, Dabblers Anonymous is still going,
Yeah.
as strong as they can, but if he really doesn't come back until March, I think that could kill a lot of the interest. Like I think even having DabbleCon in February was a little iffy because if John doesn't come back, will everyone still be as excited? And the answer is yes. It doesn't matter, quite honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
At this point, we've all built this like tight kind of community where we all just like to have fun goofing on people.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But, you're absolutely right because I think, when this show was really thriving the most is when I was given analysis the day of
Of
and
course.
all that stuff. That was kind of my gimmick,
Right.
Even though it wasn't great, I was the first one to give, commentary and all that stuff. And the thing is that, now it's like, yeah, there's some things that people haven't covered, like the 6 hour Stern special on Stuttering John. I might
Yeah.
go over that, because nobody's gone over that yet. But it's
Yeah,
like
that's a good
I'd,
idea.
I'd really like to have something brand new, and I plan on doing the Baywatch episode because nobody's done the Baywatch Nights episode that he was on.
Oh, very cool.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean there's stuff there. You could do a deep dive into his role in Airheads where he's the guy who raised his hand and said, "I used to masturbate constantly." Or, his genius role in Dude, Where's My Car, where he comes out of the closet and pees in the plant and goes back in. Much like Stephen Wright in Half Baked, who was the guy on the couch, but you don't hear John complaining that he ripped off Stephen Wright, but whatever.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. So what is next for El Horrible? If I can
What
if
is
I can
next?
pronounce my words here. Is it going to be kind of basically live streaming to get those numbers up
Yeah.
till John comes back, or
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people are mad that I've kind of drifted away from my recording videos. I did one right before my work trip. It was mostly Opie related, and now that it's the holidays and stuff, yeah, I think I'm going to try and do more of the live stream, but I'm going to put 100% effort into live stream. I've told Kevin, and this kind of started and mostly yesterday, but maybe the show before that, I'm not going on unless I have a entire folder of clips to go to where there's no way we're going to even go to all these clips.
yeah,
We need to have some kind of format. We need to have some kind of structure. Like that's the one thing like Carl always talks about, and he's absolutely right. Like you can't, as much as you think like, oh, I'm interesting. Oh, people like to hear what I'm, going to say. If you don't at least have some kind of outline of what you want to talk about, you're really just going to make a fool of yourself. And I did that for about 10 episodes straight or well, not 10 episodes. I think I've only done 8. So I've done that for about 6 episodes straight. We didn't really have much of a structure or format, and we had technical problems up the wazoo. But I think yesterday's show I was very happy with, because we actually had some structure and we had clips to go to, and just we had a game plan, and then Kevin just kept drinking, which was awesome. I was encouraging him to drink, so that added another thing. And we're just gonna keep doing this until people literally just say you guys suck, and there's literally no one listening. I mean, we get jacked up when we have 30 people now on a live stream,
Oh,
and
absolutely, and you guys do a phenomenal job,
yeah,
so
thank
I
you.
so I don't see that happening where people tell you, not to do it, because everybody tells me that, so yeah.
I know. Yeah, you are a very controversial figure in
I
the
am,
Dabbleverse,
apparently.
Rabbi.
It's crazy that, a rabbi who doesn't curse really is a controversial figure. Go figure.
Yeah, but like I said, you've always been a good guy to me. I have no reason to, not be a good guy to you, because like I said, and I have no problems with you, but
Oh, of course. By the
I've
way,
seen it.
Chairman Meow has a great suggestion. I didn't even think of this about somebody. Maybe
Oh,
maybe this is something that you guys need to do. They want to hear a review of his 3 albums.
that would
That
probably be good for Carl, since he has such a good, like, a big musical
That's
background. Him
true.
and Chris, producer Chris, could probably do that. Like, I kind of like John Single. I kind of like the guitar riff, the talk my way out of it. I
Hmm.
don't know. I'm not, I don't hate it. I don't think it's the best song ever, but I kind of like the guitar riff. I think the words are kind of stupid, but
My question is he really playing on those, or is it studio musicians?
nah, I think John dabbled in a little guitar back in the day. And he played live, he played shows, he did,
Okay.
he toured a little bit. And
Well, that is true. If you play live, you really can't fake it on the guitar.
yeah, especially back in those days.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see what else we got in the chat here. Those videos are still on your streams on Facebook. Oh, okay. The troll accounts joining. Gotcha. Gotcha. Chairman Meow. Remember how he? Okay. Cool deal. Well,
Charles Gordon.
well, let's see here. Do we have anything else that is on your mind there, El Santo?
No, no, not much. Just keep checking out my YouTube channel. Make sure you get notified, because the other thing I'm really bad at is promoting beforehand. So, a lot of times we just kind of go, "Hey, you want to go on tonight?" And it all kind of depends on my schedule, because I just have a lot of stuff going on. And unfortunately, since we live in the mountain time zone, a lot of times I can't do it until it's kind of late. And then
Yeah.
most of the people who watch this stuff are from the East Coast, which I totally understand, because, that's where all these shows pretty much were from. And it's hard, but yeah, just keep checking out the YouTube and Twitter and all that garbage.
Absolutely. When Cardiff goes live at like 11, or you guys go live at 11, it's like, my gosh, I
Yeah.
I, I go to bed at 9.
Yeah.
I'm an old man, for goodness sake.
No, I get it. I'm a bit of an insomniac, and I get a lot of my creative stuff done in the middle of the night too, while
Mhm.
everyone's asleep. So,
I used to be the same way, but I got to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So
oh
like
sure,
at night, like this is how insane I am of trying to beat insomnia. This is my hot tea over here. There are 2 tension tamers, 2 chamomile, and 2 sleepy times in here, and 2 melatonins
wow,
that I've stuck with. Oh, but I'm not done yet. After I get done with this show, I'm gonna go and take 2 Benadryl and some chocolate milk.
wow, you're dosing yourself.
Yeah, that's what I have to do to get to sleep.
That is crazy. Hey, can
It
I ask you
is.
a question? How did you get like the snow on the balcony?
Oh, I learned how to do that today. I did that in Final Cut Pro. There,
Okay,
there is a YouTube video where a guy shows you how to do it with videos, and I was like, well, it'll work with a picture. And so you take it and you do it as a layer on Final Cut Pro. He gives you the file
oh
in
sure,
the link to download, and then you got to do one little thing with like I think the blend or something like that. You do that, and then what I did, because in StreamYard you can't have stuff that's moving as your green screen thing, it can only be pictures. So
Okay.
what I did is I pulled this into OBS and I did a virtual camera that I'm using in StreamYard.
Oh, all right. Yeah, no, that looks awesome, man. Because you even kind of whited out the sky and stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I went through some of the filters that there was
yeah.
in there.
No,
And so
as an editor, I appreciate that stuff. I've been looking at that, and I'm like, is it some kind of AI where it's taking the snowflakes and building it on, like it knows that that's a balcony rail, or did you do it in After Effects beforehand? But cool, man.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
Well, thank you, thank you. Some of the things I'm slowly learning. As you get older, you have a hard time learning new things.
Oh, sure,
I spent $300 or $200 on Logic Pro for recording my music.
sure,
Everybody told me it's easy. It's not easy.
yeah.
That's been sitting there for like 4 months, and it's like I'm gonna try again at some point. You
Yeah,
know.
man. The more the more you do it every day, it becomes second nature. And YouTube. I never went to college. I went to the University of YouTube, and just being around other people doing the same stuff and asking questions and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll send you that video that showed me how to do it. I don't know with the
Yeah, I'm
software that
interested.
you have if it'll allow you to do it or not, considering it's 2010.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
No, but I mean, I would just like to see how they, because the fact that you
yeah,
said you did it all in Final Cut Pro is even amazing to me. I would have assumed you definitely did it in After Effects. So, but
oh
this
yeah.
is boring. No one cares about this. Sorry.
Yeah, just nerds like us. Well,
Ugh.
brother, I appreciate you coming on, and I want you to know you're welcome over here anytime, man. Anytime you have some. In fact, when you go to DabbleCon, would you
Yes.
like to be one of our correspondents for a lot at DabbleCon when I
Oh,
do my
sure.
live stream that day?
Oh yeah, sure. And actually, I am bringing a bunch of GoPros. I'm bringing all kinds of equipment. Kevin and I and OJ, we're definitely going to broadcast from. We're gonna. I'm at least getting a hotel suite. I don't know what those two bums are doing, but I'm getting a suite, and we will be broadcasting from there. And I will be documenting everything for a DabbleCon kind of documentary thing once everything's done, kind of like our whole trip there, and get a lot of the behind the stuff, scene stuff for people who can't make it.
Oh, sounds great. By the
Yeah,
way, we have a one thing that I want to go over here in the comments. This is like the third person that has mentioned one too many.
yeah.
And the thing is, Kevin and I ended up doing a live stream going over it. I think it would be good if we can get like a whole pack of people to kind of redo the commentary on One Too Many again, do another watch along with that. Maybe that's something that we can kind of get maybe you and Kevin and Cardiff and, a couple other people involved with
So
something like that.
I do have to admit, I have not seen One Too Many.
It's horrible.
I've seen clips, and I think Carl on his Patreon has a review of it that I think you have to watch along with it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but I just
That was
couldn't do it.
that was I think that was Insufferable Bastards.
Oh, did they
That
do? Okay.
I think
Yeah,
they did.
someone did it, and
Yeah.
I just couldn't get through it. Like, even the clips I've seen, they're just so bad. And then as far as like getting a bunch of people to watch, I don't know. Did you watch the Chrissy Mayer holiday dabbler thing yesterday?
No, I didn't.
All right. Well, you watch it, but skip over the mine and Kevin part, because once you get more than 3 or 4 people on one of these things,
It does get kind of crazy.
it's impossible, because everyone's looking for that split second pause to try and cram their joke in. And I think 3 people is ideal for one of these things.
I think you're right. I think
Yeah.
you're right. Especially if they know how to broadcast, they know not to just try and wedge themselves in.
Right, exactly. And that's why so yesterday I pretty much sat back and just stayed silent and let Kevin be drunk and try and cram his stuff in. But it worked. It was fun. I want to, thank you, Chrissy, for asking us. She literally asked us an hour before it started, and I actually said no because we were supposed to do a show, and then I found out Kevin said yes, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess we are going to do it. So, but yeah, that was fun. And yeah, so I would suggest, if you're gonna, just from my personal experience, try to keep it like 3, maybe 4 people at the most.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. So,
There he is.
maybe I'll send out a whole thing to, hey, Kev, you want to do that again there, big guy? You want to watch One Too Many? I see he's in the chat there.
Yeah, I see
We'll
him.
see. Yeah. That might be fun, especially if we go and broadcast to all the channels,
Sure.
at the same time and all that stuff. And speaking of which, considering that you've been getting involved with StreamYard and all that stuff, I want you to know this is something that I do with many of my friends in the Dabbleverse. If you ever want a StreamYard Pro account, just know you can use mine.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I might take you up on that someday. Honestly, Kevin does all the broadcasting and technical stuff, and I just do the show prep. But yeah,
Yeah, Kevin don't want to
Kevin
do
said
that
no.
movie again.
Honestly, like I said, it would be my first
It's
time
bad.
seeing the movie, so
It's bad. Really
I
bad.
can't even imagine. Like it doesn't, like, I don't know, something about that doesn't interest me with John. I
Yeah.
guess because it's like he wrote it and it's all just stupid bullshit. What he thought would be a good movie, and like it's obviously not. So
Yeah, see,
the
Kevin actually made me drink that night, and I don't drink, and
oh, me neither.
we decided to have a drinking game where every time
Sure.
he does something that's not woke, I have to take a drink. So I had 2 big pretzels over here with me as well.
Wonderful. Yeah, man. You guys are doing it a while. I remember I was one of, like, I think 2 people who were watching you and Kevin like the first time you guys got together. And I can't believe that we're all still doing this garbage.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's one of those things that it's like you cannot look away from it. You
It's
just
fun.
can't. It's like one of those things. I remember the first time it's like, somebody sent me the clip of him getting COVID.
Right.
And I ended up doing that on my political show. And then it's like one of those things, it's like, I can't stop listening to this idiot.
Yeah.
What is wrong with me?
Yep. That's how I feel about Opie too. It's like, I know people are just like, why do you abuse yourself? But I can't stop. Like, I'm bummed out he hasn't done a sunrise live stream since Monday.
No.
I'm going
You've
through
been having to
withdrawal.
do that.
Yes. Well, not me.
Well, Cordiff, and I told him to blink twice if he's or if he's okay. He has never blinked twice.
No, Cordiff does not blink. Oh, hello there. Hello there, Rabbi.
Yep. See, there he is. There he is.
can't even-
Have you been gone after for any sort of copyright thing with that yet?
Ugh,
Oh
I
gosh.
just fell off again. No, I have not been hit with any copyrights. Thank you for asking, though. That is very nice of you. How are you, Rabbi? Good to see you.
Oh my gosh, those eyes wig me out.
I have a whole bag of them. And if
Oh,
anyone
that's-
else, these are all eyes. These are potato eyes. So I have about enough to make about 4 more Cardiffs or Cordiffs. Sorry, not Cardiff. Copyright.
You just told on yourself there.
Right. But yes, these will be available at DabbleCon. Potato is not included. $500, and then an extra $100 will get you a little guitar that's has a toothpick you could stick in Cordiff and make it look like he's playing guitar. So for the low price of $600, you can build your own Cordiff natural gas doll. Oh, that's really awesome. That's a great deal. Yes, it is Cordiff.
Oh gosh, that thing creeps me out.
Yeah, Cordiff has been a hit, kind of. And
I can tell.
he tried to go out today, but there was no sun. It was only minus
You
11.
about killed him.
I about killed myself. I really thought I messed up 2 of my fingers. Like, I've
Really?
never been, I guess, exposed to that kind of cold for that long. So, but we're
Yes.
okay.
It's supposed to be 7 degrees over here tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy.
So I'm not looking forward to that. I am not looking forward to that at all. Especially when I've been having to wear a sweater and a coat to work. It's like, this has never happened.
Right.
Ever. But
Yeah, you're in North Carolina, right?
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
Yep. All right. Well, brother, I'm going to jump off here and make like a baby and head out.
Cool.
But man, it was great having you on, and just know that you're welcome back anytime, man. Anytime you have anything going on, you say, "Hey, man, when I come on, you just let me know." All right?
Absolutely. Thank you, Rabbi. And we'll definitely have you on my show soon.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, brother.
All
Shabbat
right,
shalom.
shalom, brother.